Hello everybody and welcome to slightly longer than 60-second figure reviews, where today we're taking a look at the G.I. Joe Classified Cover Girl. She's a wide release, so you should be able to pick her up just about anywhere as soon as she releases. I managed to snag a slightly early copy, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, I guess we can just start by getting up close and taking a look. So, here is the head sculpt on my copy of the unit. And as you can see, it's not great, I'm not gonna lie. It's not perfect, but it's not terrible. I've definitely seen worse 6 scale or 1/12 scale action figure heads before. Ooh. But yeah, it's not too bad, not too horrible. I definitely don't hate it. Ooh, whoops, spoiler alert. All right, well, there you go. As you can see, it's pretty good. I mean, I think the sculpt work here is very good. I'm gonna get a closer look here at the bottom section here of the body. And yeah, that's a little problem I have with this copy. But there we go. Oh, that's better. Nope. Yeah, whatever. So yeah, there you can kind of see the sculpt work that we have going on with this figure. Looks pretty good. The soles, if you're wondering about that, the hands. Yeah, so that's what this figure looks like. I'll stand her up here so you can get a better look. Oh my god. It's gonna be one of those. There. There's a better, more wider look if you wanted to get a look at that. All right, now we can move on to articulation, my favorite part of any review. The head is on a ball joint at the top. I was going to take it off, but I changed my mind. So there's a ball joint at the top of the neck. Lets her head swivel around. There's a ball joint at the bottom of the neck, but it's tight and it's not actually going to get too much range. We'll let you get the side-to-side motion, though, and you'll be able to look up and to the side, which is nice. The hair does collide here with the back of the jacket, but it's plastic. What can you do? The head can look up. Not too bad. Look up about that far. Look down all the way, and then can turn to either side all the way if you want it to do that. Next up, the arms can go all the way around like this. They can go out. Oh my god. This is why I'm not a fan of this new style bicep, by the way. Yeah, so I'll show you what I mean by that. So the arm can go up to 90 degrees. It's on a butterfly joint, but oh, whoop, and there we go. Yep, that's exactly what I didn't want to happen, and yet here we are. So the arm can come out to this far with the butterfly joint, can go back this far with the butterfly joint. We've got here a double bended elbow, so that can go all the way like that. On her left wrist, there is a in and out peg, so like that and like that. On her right hand is the up and down peg, so she is right-handed and not left-handed like a lot of these figures are. This is all new sculpt, by the way, in case you're wondering. For her chest articulation, she has a diaphragm cut and a ball joint at the waist also, so that will get you crunched this far forward, which is not perfect, but it can get you some good poses if you want. It can go back pretty decently back. I wouldn't say, again, not perfect, but for a female figure from Hasbro, it's pretty good. And you, of course, get a swivel here, like that, and at the top, too, if you want to swivel from the top. Her legs are on a drop-down hip, which gets you the range all the way up, so you can do some kicks. Karate kick. Can go forward, 90, back, runs into the bottom sculpt, if you will, but it goes that far, not bad. She's got a double joint at the knee that will take you not terrible, but it's mostly the sculpt from the pants here that's blocking it from getting any further. She's got a boot swivel, get you all your boot swivel things. She's got a rocker at the foot, as well as the down and up that you would want from that figure. All right, let's jump into accessories. Here you can see all the accessories that CoverGirl comes with. She has her shotgun. Now, I don't know the actual name of this shotgun. I have said this before, but I'm not really a gun person. So here's your shotgun. Pretty nice shotgun. It doesn't, or at least I don't think, No, does not pump like the one that came with, what's his name? Oh my god, I can't believe. Flint. The one that came with Flint could actually pump. This one cannot pump. That might be a deal breaker for somebody, but not me. Here we have her big wrench, as you can see there. Pretty nice wrench. Some nice sculpted detail. Not too much paint though, but that's fine. Here we have her pistol. It is black with a little bit of silver paint on it. Focus. You can see there. Pretty nice. Pretty nice accessory. And this figure is one of those figures that I love, where you can, in fact, take the figure and store all the accessories on it. So her belt here has a spot for you to slide her wrench onto, like that. Her pistol can be slotted right here into the holster. Her iPad, as I like to call it, her iPad. Oh, I forgot to go over the iPad. She has this iPad, by the way. That's the detailing on that, in case you were curious. Black slate on the back. Some printed detail here on the front. Looks like Scrap Iron's thing to me, his anti-tank artillery, or whatever you want to call it. Now that you can either put in her hand, like how I had it posed at the beginning, or it slides right in there and it has a nice tab to keep it in there, and it's neither of those things are coming out. And next, her shotgun can be stored in her hand. Like, hold on, this. There you go. And now she actually has all of her accessories on her person. So I always love it when the G.I. Joe figures include that. It's always a standout for me when they do that. All right, now on to the size comparisons. I have a few figures here. I should probably grab a bit more. Actually, around me, I have just the right selection of figures to compare it to. Starting off with the size comparisons, here we have the channel mascot, the SH Figuarts Body-kun that is meant for drawing. Next up, we have our previous review, the G.I. Joe Classified retro-carded Walmart exclusive Snake Eyes. Oh, I'll set him right here so you can take a look at it. That looks pretty good. Next, I'm going to take him out. So that Snake Eyes is just slightly short of a standard size G.I. Joe. So I'm going to take him out in a second too. But I'm going to put in first Gung Ho, original release Gung Ho, not the Walmart exclusive Gung Ho, which is infinitely better, by the way. I have both, I can tell you. So, well, there I put in Gung Ho so you can get an idea of how she scales with a bigger G.I. Joe Classified series figure. And I'll swap out Snake Eyes for the next review, which will be Lieutenant Falcon. So you can look forward to a review. Here, let me move these guys forward a bit so you can actually get an idea of how tall they are in comparison to each other. So there you can see the next review, a bit of an early teaser here for the next review. I don't want you to get too good of a look. All right, next I'm going to go grab two figures from a different line so you can get an idea of how she will scale for those if there's any customizing you want to do. First off, we have the Marvel Legends Disney Plus series Moon Knight. So that's an MCU figure for you. And then over here, we have the Hasbro Black Series 501st Legion Clone Trooper. So that should give you an idea of how well he scales. How well she scales in the Star Wars line, because I could definitely see that jacket coming in useful for like a rebel, a nameless rebel or whatever. So yeah, that's how that scales. All right, well, I guess we should get to the final verdict now. So let's get into some criticisms, and then I'll get into some compliments. So to start off, the criticism is probably my biggest criticism, which I hate to say after all the reveals, seems like it's not going away anytime soon, which is kind of really, really disappointing for me. It's these shoulders, these bicep swivels. I don't like these straight cut bicep swivels because it keeps doing this. This is very, very, very disappointing because before these bicep swivels came in, I had never ever had an issue with that happening before, but now it's the second figure that has happened to with the new mold, so the new style of mold. So that's kind of 2 for 2 off of what I've reviewed from this channel so far. So that's a bit disappointing. The second criticism I have of this figure would be the looseness on the first rivet here on the knee. It's pretty loose, as you can see here, and it doesn't seem like it would be a big deal, but when you go to pose it, it's super annoying because it'll fall over all the time. But once you get it stable and like standing how you want it to, it should be able to just stand there just fine. And it's on this leg too, but not as bad as this leg. This leg has it really bad. Hopefully yours doesn't have that, and then you can just strike that criticism from the record. But the last criticism is the face sculpt. Look, I have a hard time saying this because I think the G.I. Joe classified head sculpts as a whole have been really, really good up until this wave. This one is just not perfect. It's just not perfect. It's not bad. It's far from bad, I would say. But it's not perfect for this character, I think. And that's coming from somebody whose printing on this figure is pretty good. I got a pretty good print job on this figure. It's looking like all the paint is in the right places, so it's probably a problem with the sculpt. All right, now on to the compliments, which thankfully I do think are overwhelming the negatives on this figure, which is the sculpt, other than the face, is pretty much perfect. Like, it captures, like, pretty much all of the other classified figures. It captures the essence of the character and like gives it slight tweaks so that it's like not plain and boring. But I think that they've been doing a phenomenal job of kind of updating the characters, bringing them into the modern light, and really kind of getting an idea of how they should look. I think that the articulation is really good, especially for a female figure. We're just now starting to see the female bodies get better articulation, which is long overdue. And I think that the plastic is pretty good. I don't think you should have any issues with the plastic. I think the paint is pretty good. I think the paint applications are nice, and they're always welcome, like the silver part on the belt there. I just think that they're good. So for a final score out of 10, I would probably say this gets around a 7.5 to just a normal 7 out of 10. I do think if you're a G.I. Joe classified collector, you should buy this. I think if you think the body has potential for a custom, you should buy this. If you're not into G.I. Joe classified and you don't think that this body has custom potential, I don't think it's a recommend from me. I hope that gives you all the information you need on whether you should buy this figure or not. And until the next review, I will see you guys later.